Hi everyone and welcome for this tutorial how to paint some worn red leather. For that I'm going to use some white from Chronicles, some black, some red brown, some red leather from Model Color, and some dark sea blue from Prince August. As always, don't hesitate to ask if you have any question into the comments, and if you want to join us on Patreon, you can show me your paints and I will make you some feedback. Let's go for the paint. The first step is to apply the red brown on the primed black I always do on my minis. As you can see, I already paint all the non-metallic metal, and you have seen that on the previous tutorial how to paint the non-metallic armor for these miniatures. After that, I am going to push again and again some layer of red brown on this parts, just to be sure I will have a more strong red brown on the part who takes a more light. After that, on the same part, so not in shadow, only on the part who takes a more light, I'm come back with some red laser to push highlights on every recesses and on the parts on the surfaces who takes the more the light. I make the same with red leather and mixing with a little bit of white. In this time I'm going to focus more and more on small surfaces to create a transition more easily. When I come back on the shadow part, it's just to push a little bit more the recesses to create more contrast. I mix some black whites to create some gray, and I mix them with some red leather to push again my highlight on some few parts. If you directly have some gray, some light gray, you can mix your red leather with some light gray. More I'm going to paint, more I'm going to tap my brush just to create some small points, small line, to create the texture from the leather. I come back with a mix between red leather and white, just to push once again more and more highlights on some few parts. After that, I come back with some black in the shadow, just to push a little bit my shadow. That's happened that my white, or I make some myth with my brush, so I come back and that with my black I can again push my shadow and my contrast into this zone. I come back with dark sea blue again with to create some shadow, so I'm going into the shadow and some few parts in the light to create a more deep effect. You can see my paint is very diluted. More I'm going to paint, more my paint is very diluted. And now with some white from Chronicles, I push a little bit more highlights on some few lines and creates my texture just by adding some point and some line on this leather. As you can see, the technique is pretty easy. Just take care about 2-3 things. It's about focus and always reach smaller and smaller surfaces. That's the most important things. Thanks again for watching. Don't hesitate if you have any question to post into the comments. I will answer very soon. Don't hesitate to follow me and subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon if you want. You will have access to a group. We paint and we show our different paints, and I make you some feedback for you to progress. So have a good day and happy painting. See you soon.